Mason Greenwood, because Getafe, the club that he's currently on loan with, they want to talk to Manchester United about either loaning him again or making his move permanent so that he could stay in Spain. Now, I think Mason Greenwood is a very good player. And if I'm Manchester United, I'm bringing him back because to me, he would start for them week in, week out right now. He'd be their best attacker. He's better than anybody that they have. He's better than Rashford, Antony, Garnacho, Holgen, Amad Diallo, any of those guys. Mason Greenwood right now walks into Man United starting 11. This guy is a baller. He is tough. He hasn't played in over like a year and a half. And this season, he already has 5 goals, 5 assists in La Liga, and he doesn't look like he's missed a beat. And you see all these big clubs are being linked to him. You see the reports about Atletico Madrid, Barcelona, Real Madrid. I'm pretty sure that he'll be linked to other big clubs as well as the summer gets closer, like Bayern Munich, PSG, Juventus, Napoli. Like, I'm telling you, the talent is there. And I think if Manchester United decide to sell him, that will be a mistake. Now, I believe that they want to keep him last summer because when they reviewed everything that was going on, all the drama that was happening, instead of just ripping up his contract and terminating him so that they're just done with him, they sent him on loan, which means that they still own him and that they will be bringing him back whenever that loan period is over. So I don't know what to believe because now Ineos is there and they got to do their own review of Mason Greenwood and decide whether they want to keep the player or not. But I think they should bring him back. But as it concerns Getafe, I do not believe that Mason Greenwood will be playing for them again. No, I think this is his first and last season with them. I think he will be at a big club next year. And that's no disrespect to Getafe. And if you're Mason Greenwood, you should feel like you owe these guys the world because when it looked like you might not be playing football this year, or you might have to go to Saudi Arabia or play in some bookie league, they came in and they offered you an olive branch. You were drowning and they threw the buoy in the water and they brought you back to land. So you definitely owe them. And you should consider this club a part of your heart because they have embraced you and they've given you a chance to play football again at the highest level. But Getafe, I'm sorry, you're a very small club. And I think with all the big teams that are circling around Mason Greenwood at the moment, I believe that he leaves. Especially if Man United aren't going to be charging too much. I mean, you guys see Transfer Market has his value at 7.5 M's. But I know Man United are not going to sell him for that low. No, especially with him having a good season right now. They'll probably want 20, 25 million for Mason Greenwood. And I think that's a great move. Like, I would take him at Real Madrid. I know that he had the whole incident with Jude. And who knows if Jude really called him the word. Who knows? But, why not? He would be some great depth on the wing and could play up top as well. And the guy can shoot with both feet. Dangerous with that left foot. Shooting rockets. He's a baller, man. Jeez, man. The potential that Mason Greenwood had when he was at Manchester United was insane. Like, the way that people were talking about him and the way that he was performing, the way that he was scoring goals, nah, man, this guy is a top player. And I think if you're United, you see all these big clubs coming in for him, how could you sell him? How could you sell him? Greenwood in 3 years will be a world-class player. He will be one of the best at his position. And if you're Mason, I think if I'm him, I wouldn't want to go back to England. No, because of what happened with his girlfriend, even though he's an innocent man, right? I mean, the courts looked into it. The charges were dropped. He's not going to jail. But you guys know, nobody cares about the truth. Everybody likes to possibly run with a lie, or they like to make their judgments because of what they heard from a 30-second audio clip that was 10 minutes long. You only heard 30 seconds out of a 10-minute clip. You don't know what else was said. But everybody wants to run with the conclusions. And I want to say also, Greenwood and his girlfriend, they're still together. And they have a baby. And they're going to get married. So if they're still together, living their life, and if she could forgive him for whatever we think he did, why the hell would I be mad about it? But that's the social media. If I'm Greenwood, as I was saying, I would not want to go back to England because the fans and the media scrutiny that he's going to get for no reason is going to be kind of crazy. So if I'm him, I'm looking to stay in Spain. I see what Barcelona are talking about. I'd want to see what Real Madrid talking about, Atletico, maybe Bayern Munich, maybe PSG, Napoli. They might have to sell Victor Osimhen this summer. They might come in for Greenwood. What about Juventus? That's what I'd be looking at. But Yeah, I don't really think Getafe are going to be able to keep him. I just think that the clubs that are in for him are too big for him to turn down. Just because you don't want to really risk not being able to get those kind of offers again. And I think that he's already back to his best form at the moment. So why even wait? Why spend another season at Getafe? It wouldn't make sense. And if I'm him, even though if I'm Man United, I'd want to bring him back. If I'm Greenwood, I would not want to go back because of all the things outside of football that I'd have to deal with on a weekly basis. It would just make no sense. Like, who wants to deal with that while I also have to focus on playing the game?